Hello everyone, and welcome to another Terry's Tuesday Tips. This one's going to be on support and resistance made easy. People have a tendency to make support and resistance a little more harder than it needs to be. So hopefully in this video I'll show you you don't have to overthink it. So with that, let's get on with it. Let's bring up a chart. This is a pound USD chart, a daily chart. I like to start with a daily because the higher the time frame, the more important and the more weight that support resistance plays. And as you can see, support resistance is, when we discuss it, it is about the horizontal lines that we put on a chart where price has bounced or turned around. I look for 2 to 3 times at minimum for it to bounce. It's a little different than a trend line. A trend line is also a form of support resistance, but we call that a trend line. As you can tell, price bounced there a few times there. So it's a little different, just called something different, but it plays the same role. So in drawing your support resistance here, like I said, start with a higher time frame. I like the daily or perhaps a 4-hour. And as you can see right here, I'm drawing this one. Price has bounced and turned around on both of those. And then down here, as you can see, it bounced there. You want something, like I said, at least 2 or 3 times where price has come back to and has bounced. Let's see, let's pick out some more. Right here's one. Now, your high and your low on your chart is always going to be a form of support. You should always have a support resistance there, line there. So right down here is your low. You see how the price bounced, came back up, bounced again, then took off. That's we're not going to get into it now, but that's also considered a double bottom, and this appears to be considered a double top. We don't get into candlestick patterns and stuff like that today. Let's see. When you get into areas like this, that is considered support, but this area is also called consolidation. So you don't want to just draw your trend lines, your support resistance under all that consolidation there. This might be a certain time of day, end of the day or something. So we're looking at majority of the big moves, the big turnarounds. And also a support resistance can be an area. Like this area from here to here. The area can be a resistance area. Support is always on the bottom and resistance is on the top. Okay, once you do your daily, you don't have to go hog wild on it. Something that's because unless price moves, that's 192 pips there. That during your day trading, you're not gonna have to worry too much about going much farther than what I did here. So now you go down to your 4-hour. You can do the same on that. Show you some lines if they haven't already been drawn by using the daily. Also, in order to see them better, zoom out. Again, these you've gotten on the daily. Most of the 4-hour you've gotten on the daily. Now your 1-hour, go down it. It may change slightly from your daily because it's a smaller time frame. Let's see if we can find some here. I also like to make my support resistance lines a different color depending on the time frame. So you bounce there. Up here's a good area. That's a high, as you can see. Let's see if we can find some more that's not already marked. And you want to sort of stay within a reasonable distance of current price. Okay, there's our support. Again, we were doing trend lines. All of this will be considered some resistance because when price gets that trend line, it's going to meet resistance there. I generally trade off a 1 hour time frame. But if you want to trade off of a smaller time frame, draw your support and resistance lines on a higher time frame. If you're having a hard time figuring out where to draw your trend lines, there's an indicator you can use to help you, and that is called a fractal. No, I'm sorry, not fractal, zigzag. Let's put zigzag on here. Okay, as you can see, the zigzags, they draw a point there every time the price changes. So all you do is look 2 to 3 places where the points are to turn at the same. See, I draw this one here, although there's not 2 or 3. I drew that one because it was a major turning point right there. But let's go through and see if we can find some. This was on a daily. So see the point here, point there. We've got your 2 here. Let's see. Up here in this area where it turned, that's more of a consolidation area there. But as you can see, it hit that same point several times, even that area. And if you want to go back this far, this is way back in August of last year, I think it is. Yeah, because this is daily. This right here, you can see how price bounced on those areas. Bounce, bounce, bounce. And here's another double bottom with 2 would support there. This isn't 2, but this is a major bounce area. You can see how it moved down. This I wouldn't consider a major bounce unless there's more over here on the other side. Right here's some resistance. You see the zigzag may help just a little. Point those out. Make the line a little darker so we can see it. You can see those points there. Until you get used to drawing your support lines, these may help. But up here, Like I said, I don't generally go this far back. I keep it in pretty close to the same area. But that's all it is to draw on your trend lines. I'm sorry, your support resistance lines. And again, trend lines are a type of support resistance. And you can also use your, as you can tell, you could use zigzag there to have you pinpoint where to draw your trend lines. The problem you have to be careful with the zigzag is the current point may redraw. But once these are drawn, they're drawn. So that's all of this is support and resistance. You would trade it by trading the bounce off of that area. Or sometimes it'll break the area and then come back to it, and you just trade it when it comes back. Let's remove the zigzag now so you can see the lines a little better. Alright, so like right here, it broke through that support. It came down, went back up. You would trade that second bounce there, back down. Again, did it again here. When it makes a new low, came up, bounced off of this resistance level, came back down, and made a double bottom at the support area, and shot right back up. Also, I didn't go over in this video. I made a video the other day on using certain open times during the day, market opens, as support and resistance. I will put a link in the description for that video as well. Okay, thanks guys for watching, and I hope this was beneficial to you guys. We'll see you next Tuesday for Terry's Tuesday Tips.